Get off your phone. Put your phone away. BX15. I'll get the rest of the reg. Forensic. I don't think I've ever seen so many vehicles actually parked out on a road before. So they're directly underneath a railway bridge, so it may get extremely loud. So just bear with me. So, and you see how many vehicles are stationed here. So as I walk along, you see them all. And I came from the opposite way and over the other side of the road. There's double the amount to what's here. So they go all the way back to the bridge up over the other side. So, yeah, you can see there that you got a whole van full. So I'll just stop here for a sec, and then you can actually see for yourself. Okay, so whether or not they're actually going to go somewhere or not, but you can see there again, once again, engine running, just sitting there, idling completely. So, but what I'll do is I'll go around and I'll actually film where I'm gonna. Yeah, let's just take it easy. That's what I would do.
We're heading back to Wembley Police Station, a place that, in the past, has had tense encounters with public auditors. The mission is simple. Find out whether officers have taken the time to understand the laws surrounding filming in public, or whether the old instinct of control first, questions later, still lingers. At first, everything seems calm, quiet, routine. But anyone familiar with these situations knows the real measure isn't how authorities behave when nothing is happening. The real test begins the moment a camera appears, when a simple lens feels, to some, like a challenge to power.
You from here? Say, oh, yeah, we'll get over that camera.
Excuse me.
Yes.
I'm trying to go for listings, and then the map is saying Ronaldo McDonald's house.
Which house?
Oh, Ronaldo McDonald's house, Italy.
I have no idea.
You don't know anywhere here?
No, not that one anyway. Yeah, you should already sort of see it, guys. Okay, famous blue gates. And as I said, I wander along and see if anything happens. Sorry about the wind, guys. Looks like
Like, order,
yeah. So this looks like all of it there. Okay. So what you have, you can see there. Yeah. Oh, you're getting a really bad reflection there, guys. Sorry about that. Okay, but in there, you got the actual. As you said, do apologise about the reflection, guys. Not the best.
And this, on the surface, is exactly what community policing is supposed to look like: calm, courteous, professional. There's certainly no rule against being civil, but experienced viewers know the pattern. A warm introduction can sometimes be more than politeness. It can be a strategy, a way to lower defenses before a casual conversation subtly shifts into gathering information. That's the real question here. Is this professionalism authentic and grounded in respect for the law? Or is it simply the quiet phase before authority starts to assert itself? We're watching closely, because the tone in these moments often determines everything that follows.
So you got all these ones here. So you got that one there. No. I think we can stand behind the wall. So, and that's what they're doing. They're standing up behind the wall.
I'm on Instagram with it.
Pardon?
On Instagram or YouTube?
Who knows? You can see that they're working extremely hard. So those ones that just came out, okay, those ones there were waving at the security guy here, and yeah, he's just saying, yeah, just crack on. So those are the ones that were a little bit paranoid.
You can almost feel the change in the air. The auditor points out the scale of the station, the number of officers inside. Yet attention subtly shifts toward a single individual standing on a public sidewalk. It's a pattern many viewers recognize. While real incidents may be unfolding elsewhere, the presence of a camera often becomes the focal point. Accountability, rather than crime, takes center stage. To some, that lens isn't seen as a symbol of transparency. It's perceived as a challenge. And when oversight feels like an affront to authority, the mood can turn quickly.
I think I've ever seen so many come out of one place. So, let's just see. I can see. What's going on there? You can see there clearly. And that's an unmarked vehicle, GM17CYT. I don't think I've ever seen so many in one place. Quite a busy place. There we go. Here comes another going of them.
Now, the posture changes. The auditor notices an officer moving behind him, a subtle repositioning that seasoned observers recognize. It's a tactic often used to gain advantage, to unsettle, or to prepare in case things escalate. That kind of movement can signal that a decision has already been made, regardless of whether any offense has occurred. And that's where the tension builds. If this is simply a member of the public standing lawfully in a public space, why the need for flanking positions? The choreography suggests anticipation of conflict. The scene begins to feel less about legal thresholds and more about perception, a response driven by discomfort rather than clear evidence of wrongdoing.
As I said, for the way that this station is, even when you sort of look at Lewisham, I don't believe that I've seen this amount of coppers knocking around. So what there is here, you can see you got those two down there. You got this one here. You got another one walking down the other side. So yeah, so quite a lot. And then you've seen all the others that decided that they were going in and out.
Morning, mate.
I'm good, thank you.
Filming anything in particular?
I'm filming whatever I can see.
Okay. Oh, no worries. What, are you a tourist or
Pardon?
are you a tourist or something? Or
No, would you mind identifying yourself first, please?
Identify myself?
Yep.
Yeah, of course. PC Sean McQuaid.
Thank you very much.
I'm Southwest Traffic. What's your name?
That's irrelevant. I don't need to give my name.
Oh, okay. Are you an auditor?
Pardon?
Are you an auditor?
So you know what an auditor is?
I've heard of it, yeah.
Yep.
I've just never met one in person
Yep.
before, so it's a new thing for me.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, awesome.
Yeah.
So are you aware of what this building is? I just want to know what your knowledge
I'm
is.
partially aware. It's to do with the forensic science.
Okay. All right, no worries. And is that one of the reasons why you come here to film
Well,
today?
no, it's what the public pay for. So anything that the public pay for, i.e. a public service, okay, is what I believe that the public should
Okay, oh, no worries.
be able to
Look,
actually see what they've actually got.
No worries. Whilst we have this interaction, I want to turn my cap.
No worries,
Right,
that's perfect. Thank you very much for
now-
letting me know. I appreciate that.
Now that I've identified myself, obviously, and I now know that you're essentially an auditor.
Yep.
So my camera on.
No worries, that's
Sometimes we do
perfect.
get tourists.
No, that's
Because
cool.
this building is, I don't know whether you've heard of it, it's brutalist architecture. You heard of that?
No, I haven't.
Okay, Google it. It's
Thank you.
actually really interesting. There's only a few buildings left in London. This is one of the remaining examples of brutalist architecture.
And what do they mean by that?
Okay, just Google it, mate. I don't know the ins
Are
and
you
outs
talking about
of
the
it,
concrete
but
slab?
it's the
The
way
concrete
that-
slab.
Yeah, the way that the building has actually been designed and built.
Yep.
It's what they call brutalist architecture.
Okay.
I think you'll find one up in the Barbican. I don't know where else.
Okay, that's cool.
Yeah, look. Have you done many of these?
I've done a fair few.
So you're probably aware that there's been many interactions between the police
And this is the turning point, the moment the polite exchange fades. The officer now asks for identification, pointing to vague concerns about the building. But in the UK, suspicion alone isn't a legal power. Concern by itself does not compel a citizen to provide details. Even after acknowledging this is a public space, the demand continues. That's where the friction intensifies. When curiosity is presented as if it carries legal weight, the balance between authority and rights begins to wobble. The tension you're witnessing isn't born from unlawful behavior. It stems from a refusal to accept that a person can lawfully remain anonymous. A warning about possible detention follows, but when pressed to cite the exact statute, the confidence falters. In that pause, in that hesitation, you see the uncomfortable realization. Authority without clear legal grounding doesn't hold up under scrutiny.
between the police and yourselves. So there's probably protocols that I have to follow.
Yep.
Right. So because of that, I'm just going to call up my channel. Okay.
Fine.
Tell them what we've got.
Yep.
All right. And the whole time, obviously, I'll let you know what's
No
happening.
worries,
You're
that's
probably gonna hear
perfect.
it anyway.
That's cool.
But I need to just, as I said,
No
never
worries,
done
that's
one of these
fine. No,
before.
go for
So
you,
I'm going
go
to make
for it.
sure that I'm dealing with you properly. All right. So I'm fair to you, and I'm also fair to the
No problem.
organisation.
That's perfectly
All
cool.
right, buddy.
Go for it.
Because I want to get it right.
No, go for it, mate.
You're
It's
an
all good.
auditor. You want me to get it right. So,
Exactly.
I'll tell you what, I'm going to do that now.
No worries.
All right. So if you don't mind hanging about for a couple of minutes.
No worries. Just as long as you are aware, I'm not detained.
But
Okay,
at
I just
any-
want to make that clear.
at
I
any
know that.
point,
I know
said
that.
you're detained.
Yeah, no, but I just wanted just to sort of put that there. It was the way that you said just to hang around. I just wanted to make sure that we're both clear that I'm not being detained.
No, you're not.
That's all what I
No.
just wanted to make clear.
So the reason why I've asked you to do that is, one, it's just polite, isn't it? Whilst I do what I got to do, you do what you got to do, okay? And whilst I double check what I'm supposed to be doing is the right thing
That's
to do,
cool.
I'm going to ask you just to wait
No-
here with
no
me whilst
worries,
I double
okay?
check that. Is that all right?
Yep.
That's obviously with your consent. Because
That's
I've asked
cool.
you to stay
No,
here.
and
If you're
that-
happy to stay,
and,
will you stay?
and that's perfectly cool.
Lovely. Right,
Okay.
I'm going to do that now.
No
Right.
worries, cool.
This gentleman.
How are you,
Oh,
sir?
anyway, you
Not
right?
too bad.
Can I get your first name?
No, you can just refer to me as so, if that's all right.
That's fine. That's absolutely
No worries.
gentleman's police audit. So I'm just going to call up GT, let them know what we got. There was auditor protocols. I've not dealt with one before, so I'm going to double check what we need to do.
Yeah, no worries.
No worries. Would you mind just identifying yourself for me,
Yeah,
please,
of
sir?
course, yeah. Obviously got a name badge. It's PC Midgley from the Rose.
Okay, and your shoulder number?
2197.
Thank you very much. And I take it you're both stationed here, yes? No? Whereabouts are you stationed?
We are from I've just come this side, so I'm not in the pavement. From a traffic garage
Okay,
in Merton. So
right.
a little bit of
Okay. Yeah, that is quite a bit of a way from Merton to here. So,
What brings yourself here today?
just filming a public service.
Okay, fair enough.
So, yeah.
Just the Met, please, or
Uh,
all around the country?
No, I go all over, so
Fair
that's
enough.
cool. So, and it's just to actually do with how the police actually interact with the public.
Sorry,
Okay, it's just to actually do with the way that the police actually engage with the public. Okay,
fair enough.
for doing a complete.
What follows is deeply uncomfortable to watch. The officer invokes the Terrorism Act as justification for detention, yet struggles to identify the specific legal power he intends to rely on. In the UK, depriving someone of their liberty is not a casual step. It requires reasonable suspicion and a clear understanding of the statute being applied, such as Section 43 of the Terrorism Act 2000. When an officer cannot articulate the legal basis for their threat, it raises serious concerns about competence and proportionality. The power to detain is significant and must be exercised with precision, not uncertainty. Moments like this create the impression that authority is being asserted reactively rather than grounded in firm legal knowledge, which only heightens public distrust and escalates a situation that may never have required confrontation in the first place. T.
What was that, sorry?
No,
As a hobby then, yeah?
Yeah.
Fair enough. What do you do for the normal living?
that's irrelevant. That's
I'm
irrelevant.
just
No.
making
For that, okay.
conversation.
Regarding my own personal information and what I do, that's
Okay,
information
fair
that I
enough.
won't give because
Absolutely
it's
fine,
something
mate.
I
I'm
don't
just
need
making
to.
conversation.
That's fair enough. That's fair enough. That's fair enough.
Fair enough.
So
Have you been here before?
I may have been.
Fair enough. Yeah.
it,
Probably not the best looking building that we've got.
it,
That's the gate there, and she's also security on there. It's
Yeah, it's probably not the best looking police building.
no. Your colleague here was telling me about to do with certain. It's called a certain architecture that they actually refer to these type of buildings.
Okay.
So, and I will go back over it and have a look at it. So that was something new that I would actually learn, which is cool.
What's your favourite? I mean, if you don't mind discussing, what's the favourite building you've been to for a public service, like looks wise? Have you got one? So obviously you must have visited a lot of them if this is your hobby.
Yeah, there are, and especially when you actually go out of the cities and you sort of get into the middle of nowhere, and you've actually got old actual country houses and that have actually been converted. And when I look at that, I think that's cool.
A lot of them are donated as well, aren't they? From large families that have had them.
Some of them
donated.
are, but then the overall, and the reason why a lot of families have actually done that is because of the condition in which they're in, and then it then means that the public purse then pays for them to be done up, and a lot of them it's only for a period of time. It's not for good. It's only for a period of time. So it's almost like a rich person's way of actually donating property to be done up by the public purse, then at a later date to potentially be given back to the family.
Fair enough. I mean, that's way more in depth than I thought of it.
Yeah. No, well, that is one thing that I know people have actually looked at before.
Yeah.
And is it right to do so? Okay. Are there other ways of actually saving those buildings? So, and that's what it all comes down to.
It all comes down to an individual basis, doesn't it? Really, with
it does.
different buildings, etc.
It does. So, would you mind?
When asked to identify the precise part of the act he was relying on, the officer appears to recognize the weakness of his position and steps back. That moment is telling. If there had been genuine, articulable suspicion of terrorism, disengaging would make little sense. Officers are trained that such concerns demand clear justification and decisive action.
The police and the public.
Not much difference, actually. From when I first started doing this, I've seen no difference, really.
Okay. What about the training that you were given 7 years ago compared to the length of time now that they actually have for training?
Thing is, I'll be honest with you, I don't really know what the training is now.
Okay.
It's changed. It's all external. A lot of it is external now. So a lot of the time, I have no kind of concept of what the procedure is now. I mean, it's a degree now for some people that they have to undertake to become a police officer. When I joined, it was just a set course that I'd do for a certain amount of weeks at a certain building, and that was kind of it.
Okay. Yep. No, that's fair enough. And another question. When you look at PCSOs and you look at PCs, now we all know that PCSOs have no powers at all.
They
And
do have some powers, but they're obviously dedicated for their role.
Okay.
So, in my role as a traffic officer, we have specific traffic PCSOs which have certain powers to deal
yeah,
with.
but honestly, they
Cyber offences,
absolutely
etc.
have PTSO. They have no powers, full stop. Okay, because when you actually look at it, would you actually prefer to see more? Why are they doing a big drive for PTSOs and not PCs? Okay, now we've been promised 20,000 extra police officers on the
Yeah.
street. Okay,
Yeah.
why are we wasting money on PTSOs when that money can be used for more PCs?
Yeah. Unfortunately, I'd love to answer your question,
But would you like to see
it's a little
more?
bit above
Would you
my
like
pay
to see
grade.
more PCs on out, or would you like to see more PTSOs?
It's a purpose for everyone, isn't there? That's deemed by someone that earns a lot more money than me. So,
But at least
If
with
that's
a
their
PC, they can actually uphold the law of the land, and they can do everything that they need to do.
I get that. Obviously, everyone kind of has a purpose, don't they, with their roles, etc. So,
Yeah. So, have you always been stationed where you are, or have you been at other stations?
No, so I've moved to a specialist role, dealing with roads policing now. I'll be doing that for 18 months.
Okay. So you're part of the road traffic police, yeah?
I am, yes.
Right.
Yeah.
So I've got a question for you then.
Yeah, of course.
So,
Try and answer as best as I can. Yeah.
so when you look at idling,
Idling.
yep.
So stationary.
Withdrawal suggests the earlier threat may not have been grounded in a solid legal basis. The power to detain under legislation like the Terrorism Act carries serious consequences, including potential penalties that can extend up to 7 years in certain circumstances. Invoking such authority is not trivial. When it is raised without clarity and then quietly abandoned, it naturally raises questions about whether it was ever a lawful necessity or simply a pressure tactic that couldn't withstand scrutiny.
Actually,
regularly
if
deal
you've
with.
seen somebody idling, what would you do?
I mean, it depends on the
Well, if you can,
circumstances.
if you can see that they're just sitting there in the car, okay, and say if they're keeping, say, like a laptop powered up, okay, just for their own purpose, okay,
Yep.
and they're sitting there for 15 minutes.
I mean, I'll be honest, I don't think I'm going to be in a position where I'm sat watching them for 15 to 20 minutes. But obviously, it's everyone's kind of responsibility to look after the environment, isn't it? And it's a very strong
Yeah, but as you know,
subject at the minute.
yeah.
And obviously, a lot of councils are now dealing with the low-level
Yeah,
traffic
but either way,
offences, which is
the-
one that they normally deal
But
with.
idling, okay, comes
Yeah.
under Section 42 of the Road Traffic Act.
Okay.
Okay, so, and it's like they enforce a lot of other stuff, and it's like when you look at that, one thing that the public do notice an awful lot.
Yeah.
One of the biggest organisations that are the biggest culprits of idling.
Yeah.
Okay, are the police forces.
Yeah. Are you aware of why police cars do idle a lot of the time?
But when you've got 4 or 5 all parked up,
Yeah.
okay, and they're sitting there eating their lunch.
Yeah. But
Okay.
are you aware of why the engines are still idling?
Well, they
The
use a number
purpose
of
of
different
why.
reasons. They try and use a number
Yeah.
of different reasons.
I can tell you the
Okay.
reason why
Go on then.
personally we leave our cars running.
Go on then.
It's because the systems on our vehicle, after a certain period of time of the engine being off, cut off. So for us to be operationally available, i.e. able to deal with an incident straight away and be able to access the information we need, the systems we need, the navigation systems on the car, etc., the engine has to be on to keep that system working.
Okay.
It's something that's been brought up, and they're
Yep.
trying to deal with that issue. But a lot of the time, that's why you see a lot of the response vehicles, I mean, traffic vehicles, armed response vehicles, they'll keep their engines going for that
Okay.
purpose, because we can't respond best to an incident if the engine's stopped, because we have to wait until we've got the information that we need, the systems that we've got, etc. Otherwise, we don't know. Sometimes we won't know where we're going,
No,
etc.
that's cool. That's cool.
But certain vehicles, like police carriers, and kind of like it depends on the vehicle, it depends on the role, etc. I mean, every car's different, isn't it? Like in a service, ambulance service, they all don't serve the same purpose. It's the same as the ambulance service. Their system's cut off. They have an external battery like we do. They will only hold X amount of power, and that has to power the blue lights when we're stationary, etc. Otherwise, we end up with flat batteries. So a lot of the time, that's why certain emergency service vehicles will keep their engines running. But obviously, there's circumstances where say you're going to be somewhere for an extended period of time, and you don't need the blue lights, you don't need any of the equipment. And it's points like that, as an organisation, we need to get better at turning off
No,
our
that's fair
cars.
enough.
And
That's fair play.
that's something that is being pushed at the moment, and there's a lot of directive in that direction. So obviously we don't want to hurt the environment any more than we need to be. And like you said, it's an offence to keep the engine idling. But you just have to weigh it up with, obviously, safety for the public, safety for us. The whole picture is, obviously, you have to weigh it all up.
Yep.
So normally it's down to just being proportionate and reasonable with doing so while you're idling.
No,
And that's
cool.
kind of why we do it. So
No, that's cool. That answered it very well, I think.
The auditor's frustration at this stage is easy to understand. The public funds policing with the expectation that officers will be properly trained, legally literate, and confident in the powers they exercise. When serious legislation, particularly anti-terror laws, is invoked without a clear grasp of the basics, it doesn't project authority. It projects uncertainty. That perception matters. Public trust depends not just on power, but on competence and restraint. If the person holding the power of detention appears less sure of the law than the citizen questioning it, confidence inevitably takes a hit. Policing works best when authority is matched by knowledge, and when enforcement decisions are grounded in clear legal thresholds rather than improvised reasoning.
BX15. I'll get the rest of the reg. BX15 LCU, I believe. BX15 LCU. So you can see from that, guys, come straight out on the phone, okay, driving the police vehicle. So, yeah, I'll pass that through, and you could clearly see that the phone was in his hand. Clearly see that the phone was in his hand. And they say about stay out of the way. Okay, you can see, okay, that's where it's completely wrong in the way that he just done it. Absolutely ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. How can they do that, okay, and think that they can just get away with it? So I will be passing that bit through. And as you heard me say, I did tell him to get off the phone by telling him to put it away, and yeah, we'll see what goes on. So yeah. So absolutely insane. That really was. He just come driving out of there, head down, looking at his phone, not paying attention at all to the road. Not paying any attention whatsoever to the actual road. And that's why it's absolutely insane. You can see these guys are absolutely non-stop out of this neck. So when I sort of look, you can see that loads of vehicles have actually changed over, gone. Yeah.
Instead of returning to his duties, the officer lingers, seemingly distracted, maybe checking his phone or conferring with colleagues. To experienced observers, this often signals a retroactive search for justification, trying to locate legal authority after the encounter has already faltered. It reinforces the impression that the original approach wasn't grounded in knowledge, but in irritation or impulse. In essence, it's a silent acknowledgement that the interaction went off course, and the officer is likely scrambling to regain credibility or save face after overstepping.